Hello and welcome back to step-by-step GuitarTuition.com. This is the second lesson in the Step 4 module. In this lesson I'm going to show you how you can extend the scales that we learned in the previous steps from 1 octave to 2 octaves. If you haven't quite mastered the 6 scales that we covered in steps 1, 2 and 3, I'd recommend going back and studying those scales again before you continue with this lesson. In this lesson we won't be looking at any theory related to the scales, we'll just concentrate on learning the scale patterns for now. Your aim is to gradually build up an extensive vocabulary of scales so that you can recall them quickly from memory and apply them to a particular musical situation. Don't forget to refer to your lesson notes where you'll find the tablature for the scales, scale diagrams and other relevant information. Let's start with the 1 octave A major scale that I showed you in step 1. The word octave refers to the 8th note of the major scale, which vibrates at exactly twice the frequency of the first note. Now I'm going to show you how to extend the 1 octave scale up to the 2nd octave. Here we go, starting from the 8th note. On the G string, play the 4th fret with your first finger, then with your 3rd, play the 6th, then the 7th fret. On the B string, the 5th fret. On the B string again, the 7th with your 4th finger. On the top E, the 4th fret with your first finger, and then the 5th fret on the top string with your 2nd finger. I'll show that again. So the A major scale over 2 octaves. And back down, using the same fingering. Now let's try that with the natural minor scale. Firstly I'll play the 1 octave natural minor scale. So that's the 8th note there, and I'm going to continue up to the G string, 4th fret with your first finger, then the 5th fret with your 2nd finger, the 7th fret with your 4th, change onto the B string, 5th fret with your first finger, 6th fret with your 2nd finger, and then your 4th finger on the 8th, and then on the top, 5th fret. So we'll do that from the bottom all the way up. This is the 1st octave, and into the 2nd octave. And then back down. Now let's try the 2 octave major pentatonic scale. This is the 1st octave. And then if we extend that, we play to the 4th fret on the G string with our 3rd finger, 2nd fret on the B with your first finger, 5th fret, 4th finger, on the top E, 2nd fret with your first finger, and then lastly the 5th fret with your 4th finger, all the way up from the bottom. And back down. And now the 2 octave minor pentatonic. This is the 1st octave that we did in the previous module. Now to extend that, on the G string, 5th fret with your first finger, 7th fret with your 3rd finger, on the B string, 5th fret with your first finger, and then 8th fret with your 4th finger, and then the last note, top string, 5th fret. So from the bottom all the way up. And back down. And now for the blues scale. This is the 1st octave. And then if we continue on, we've got on the G string, 5th fret, 7th fret with your 3rd finger, 8th fret with your 4th finger, then onto the B string, 5th fret with your 1st finger, 8th fret with your 4th finger, and then 5th fret on the top string. And I'll do that again from the bottom. The 1st octave and the 2nd octave, and back down. And lastly, the harmonic minor. Here's the 1st octave that we did. And continue on up to the 2nd octave. On the G string, 4th fret, 1st finger, 5th fret with your 2nd finger, 7th fret with your 4th finger. And then on the B string, 5th fret, 2nd finger, 6th fret with your 3rd. On the top string, 4th fret with your 1st finger, and then 5th fret with your 2nd finger. The whole 2 octaves. 2nd octave, and back down. So that's all 6 scales played across 2 octaves. When you begin to feel comfortable with the scale patterns, try practicing them along with a metronome, starting at about 80 beats per minute, and then gradually increase the tempo. Later in this module, I'll show you how you can use those patterns to improvise over various chord sequences in different keys. I look forward to seeing you in lesson 3, where we'll be looking at 1 octave dominant 7th arpeggios. So I'll see you then.